Hello everybody, welcome to the live stream tonight to the ToV live stream. It's Valhalla time!
Woo.
And here I am with my lovely panel of Jason, Rocket Robotics, Tabletop Battlefield, Jeremy, the SLM, call it, Joe Crazy, who is Joe Crazy, and Ben, who is MK Plus Ultra, and I'm Ryan, Tales of Valhalla. Welcome to the ToV live stream tonight. We're talking about all things Heroscape, Age of Annihilation, and this will be the fifth time doing this type of update. And before we get started, I do want to announce a thing or two when it comes to doing these update live streams in the future. It's really wearing me down doing them twice a week, so it's going to be every Sunday. Every Sunday, we're gonna have updates of what's been going on for that week, and just all the Discord dumps. Any comments we might think about talking about, and anything that Chris might throw in our lap. We'll talk about it then. Just have one night of it, so that way I can still do my editing, which is falling sorely behind. Gonna do that. Also, still considering as well, and we got some YouTube comments about this from the person who commented about this last week as well, about this becoming some type of like podcast, or maybe do a podcast format. I'm already thinking probably just calling it the ToV podcast, simple, sweet, effective, but it might still be a little bit of time before I figure everything out that I need to do with that, but it's brainstorming process. So this is a beast of its own making, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we'll just dive right into the Discord dumps. Feel free to guys just to say hi for a second. Hi. Make your voices heard. Yeah, and we'll go through all like websites and stuff toward the end of the stream, or the end of our discussion, and let's just jump right in first to, now this is last Thursday, this is what Chris and Carmine on Discord gave the community as a little teaser on what's to come. Let me just show this photo because I just love this. Let me post it up here. There it is. What in the world? Now, we keep on seeing things that are like apparently bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is called an Iron Lich Lord. And here, one second. Let me get the.
I really don't think it's as big as you think it is.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I think this will go on a normal single hex base.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the bigger ones that the Deathwalkers stand on.
The Deathwalk, yeah, like the
giving a
old...
Kimoshi vibes.
In the sense of class, yeah.
It's like a
like the spider, like leg, like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, probably falls in that like more of like a warlord type of character. A commander. So.
Let's do a read of what Carmine posted. Does anybody want to read this? Or, I mean, I can read it, but does anyone else want to give it a go?
Yeah, Ryan, you do it.
Alright, I'll do it. Designer's notes, day 10. Arachnophobia is a specific phobia brought about by the irrational fear of spiders. Thanatophobia is an intense fear of death or the dying process. And if I butchered that word, well, I'm sorry, but we continue. 2 horrific nightmares that go great together in hellish war zones of Valhalla. The Lich Lord commands massive battalions on behalf of its Valkyrie masters with an iron grip and the vicious neurotoxins of the Lich Lord's own wicked creation. These vile injections most times augment and enhance the awesome powers of the ironclad collective, but not all survive the violent effects of these venomous fluids, but sacrifices must be made for absolute victory. And let's just take a look at this image again while we talk about this. So, okay, Joe, you're saying that this might not be as big as one might think. And you know what? Actually, when I look at the photo, actually, if you see in the bottom, I think I actually see where there might be actually like a little bit of a drawing here, if people can follow the arrow, to where like there's like a little, maybe like indentation of a base. So you might be right. This might, like, the 4 legs might just be on slightly on the outside of a base.
Because like if you think of how Heroscape has, I mean, look, nothing says that they couldn't put it on a triple base or a quadruple base.
Right.
We could be getting new bases in the future. No idea. But the fact that last week, or I say the beginning of the week, we got that big tank death thing, right? That with the hole in the constructing, whatever. You know, that Chris had said that was going to be on a peanut base. So the fact that that's going to be on a peanut base and not like any bigger type of base tells me that there's going to be single size hex bases and then the peanut bases. So they're not doing anything new stuff. So with this character being a medium-sized character, it's most likely just going to be on a single base, single base instead of a double hex, the double base.
You could be right, but I hope it's huge. I sincerely hope it's huge.
You know what? You saw the dragon and thought, oh, if we can get stuff that big, everything should be that big. Yeah. Okay.
But we'll see. I'll be happy either way, though. So.
Yeah.
So, what's the rest of you guys' thoughts about this this spidery? I mean, it's actually, well, with the exception of the fire-like spiders and like Kimoshi, I think this is one of the few multi-leg type arachnid type creatures that we're seeing showcased here for Heroscape, as far as I can tell. So, what do the rest of you guys think?
I think it's going to be more of like a command unit, like a commander type unit, one that kind of like sits in the back and maybe like has some synergies with some of the iron clad we've already seen. But yeah, that's my take on it. It's a unique hero that's going to have some bonding with maybe some more like unique squad bonding. That would be cool to see. But I think it's definitely going to be more, you know, in the back of the army and just commanding units forward, maybe bonding and getting some like that 4th attack, or you know, something with the three-man squads we've seen so far. But it definitely looks like it's gonna have some good synergies with the other of the collective that we've seen. That's just my take on it. Yeah. It's just, for me, it was just like another, you know, ironclad unit they're showing us. So that I like them, and this just seems like, I don't know, like commander type. Like he's not like a standalone. It doesn't look like he's gonna be the one doing the most damage, but he definitely looks like like menacing for sure. So
I can't wait to see his stat card. And when it says some sacrifices must be made, seems to imply to me that maybe there's like other units that you have to like maybe kill for it to have like a special ability or something, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe it looks like he has like injectors or something, so maybe he can like, you know, like almost like Kuthnak does, the VC unit, where he incantation of boiling blood, where he chooses a unit and they get extra move and they pretty much like explode at the end of the turn. Like that sounds like definitely like what it could do.
Well, one of the first things that they were talking about the ironclad were how they make their moves to every outcome on the battlefield is pre-calculated. Every possible strategy is possessed before the first shots are fired. So a lot of that, I keep thinking about order markers. So whatever special power that the Ironclad Collective uniquely has to their class of being, I presume that a lot like Kimoshi, having acid as her main ability, that this gentleman here will have that type of fear monger possession over your order markers, where he can manipulate them in some way, as it to negate them or even to switch them around.
Sure. Jason, you're gonna say something?
Yeah. So I mean, if you read the description of the notes he left there, I was thinking more of like the risk and reward aspect, where maybe this guy, he buffs the squad and there's some sort of chance he'll kill somebody, whether it's, you roll a combat die and if you get a blank result, you take a wound, or the D20 roll, something like that would be involved.
For sure. Jeremy?
So I actually was digging for it, or at least trying to look for it. I didn't get a source, which was kind of sad. But I noticed in the forums that they quoted in Carmine saying that the species behind the Ironclad Collective are known as the Ice Neck. And I was like, where did he post that? Because I'm in the Discord, and I'm looking around for it and I'm trying to search for it and everything, but I don't know where he said that they were called the Ice Neck. But they have him quoted saying that in the server, and so it's like the Ice Neck is the species, Ironclad Collective is the faction, Valkyries is censor. My guess, and I think we talked about this a bit earlier in the last stream, is that they definitely give off a Valkyrie aesthetic of sorts, and so I'm thinking they're the factions going to give Valkyrie the needed stability to actually present himself as a viable option, as a entity, rather than just a name that gets dropped and then we don't hear from him for the rest of the game. But but he did also say something interesting. Someone had asked if there's other Icenek there who aren't part of the collective and would serve other generals, and Carmine then replied in the affirmative that there is a possibility we'll be meeting the same species behind the Ironclad Collective, just not members of the Ironclad Collective. So Icenek that aren't completely cybernetic or something to that effect. So that's going to be pretty interesting to learn about Noxdorma and the history of the planet there, and what exactly why did certain members of the Icenek decide to become cybernetic monsters and things like that. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to get
that's fascinating. I like that.
I like to see the list of all like the races and civilizations that are going to be either updated or new for this universe, because I imagine it's probably a pretty long list.
Yeah, with new planets, new species, and then additions to the older planets and old species. We're going to get a lot of updates. I mean, the Dawn Raiders alone are a multi-species faction. So, like, everything, you got all these planets are contributing to one faction specifically, and then you got this one faction that's unique to an Avalon Hill unique planet. So, I'm excited to see how that's all going to play out.
For sure. And before we move on to the Friday's Discord dump, anybody else has any thoughts about this one before we close on this?
I just kind of want to, because Chris Carmine left a comment on the last live stream we did, but on the YouTube version, and he said, because we were talking about like, oh, imagine like after wave 5 how silly we're gonna look, like all these predictions, and he said you guys look so silly. So I think I think this is just my guess, like it was in reference to when I asked everybody what general do you think they're gonna be, and it was more or less a consensus it was going to be a Valkyrie, but I think he kind of meant that in like it's not going to be Valkyrie, because in the description, I forgot what day it was, but it says something they're Valkyrie masters. So there's more than one Valkyrie. So that made me think they're probably going to introduce like the first dual Valkyrie general led faction. I don't know, but I just kind of read into that and then connected it. Chris could have been talking about something completely different, but that's what I kind of brought it up. Like I was like, maybe they're introducing a new general for these guys, which is totally possible because he does fit Valkyrie, but there could be a whole new general that they fit to a T, So that was just my little last thoughts about the Ironclad Collective.
I didn't even think of that being a possibility. What if the generals had alliances and they just they merged, literally the unit itself, the both. Let's say imagine having Ukar and Valkyrie on the same symbol, but it's halved.
Yeah,
That
that's good.
sounds.
About-
That would be.
about
That would
three
sound
team-ups.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it specifically said
Oh.
masters, and the way I would
Right.
say, why say masters? Why bring up multiple if there wasn't more than one? But like you said, Jeremy, too, there's the Ironclad Collective, and then there's the regular
Other
race. So
teams,
maybe
yeah.
that's the
From the same
masters,
planet,
but
but serving other generals. Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
So we
Do we know that the Ironclad Collective are not another mercenary group?
we know they're a faction.
Yeah.
a separate
Yeah, they are a
that's
faction.
it.
But that
So
doesn't mean they're not like a mercenaries that hire themselves out to whatever general
They-
would pay them the most money. I mean, if
What
they
I-
found a way to
yeah.
come to this planet and they're these excellent tacticians of battle, this would be a great
Right.
place to sell your services. And then maybe that's how you explain the masters as plural.
Yeah, yeah.
I know the Dawn Raiders are mercenaries.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
hire
they
themselves.
specified the Dawn Raiders being mercenaries. They didn't specify this
And
collective
the Iron-
being that.
The
Ironclad
collective
mercenaries.
also doesn't strike me as monetary value like means nothing
Right.
to them. You know,
They just want to
they're
win.
about war and maybe even just giving them a piece of Valhalla or even new technology to make them better on their own homeworld, or there was promises that we can make you better if you come follow us. I think that would draw more of the power, or the power of the Wellsprings is more like, I feel would just be more enticing. So that could be they signed up with a general or multiple generals, whoever gives us the most access to a Wellspring. Now this is just a thought, but
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Imagine if the oh shoot, what is the faction that we kept saying that these guys would be?
Ironclad.
Ironclad?
Or the generals
No.
that they serve.
Yeah, Valkyrie.
Valkyrie, yeah.
So imagine the tech that they're using is Valkyrie is working with Ukar, and Ukar's like, here, you know what? Here, take all the scrap metal from the Deathwalker, stockpile here, and then these guys can use it for their Ironclad Collective. And so I wonder if that's like the metal that they're using. And so that's part of their like agreement.
I'm sure they have a history.
'Cause
I
they-
wonder if like
there are
Solborgs in
characters that
general
we-
are like in danger from the collective. Like,
Yeah.
do they have something to fear?
Yeah, well,
Because they could. I feel like
these aren't
their
Solborgs.
cybernetic.
Yeah, they're
material
like
can
anti-soul
easily-
wargs.
Yeah.
They replaced their organic parts with inorganic machinery, but they once were a organic species, whereas the
Yeah.
Soulborg are uploaded to their metal frames, like the consciousness is uploaded to the body. So
The-
little different
would you
concept
think-
there,
It would be easier for them to assimilate with a robot than maybe more like organic material.
there could be a Ironclad collective unit that could hack a Soulborg and like take over its systems.
That would be sick.
With the cybernetic technology, they just boom.
Corrupt it.
Yeah, like take over any cyborg units you control or something like that. That could be a power.
And
And if
there's
it's not, you should totally make it a power. I would love to hack a Soulborg.
and I like, actually, if you look up close on the face of this creature, doesn't look like a Joker type face, like
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
or the Batman who laughs type
Yeah.
face. It looks that creepy. So and I
He's
just-
so happy to just like pull a spine out of
Poison you.
somebody.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's I look forward to more of this stuff, more of these creatures, because they might become a thing for me. But yeah, and you jumped ahead a little bit, Ben. But yeah, Chris's comment on our YouTube video from last Wednesday. You guys look so silly. He could have possibly meant that. So yeah, so we cover that. Yay! And okay, now on to Friday's Discord bit of info here, and this is the photo that we got. What's the artistic photo? And so everybody is saying Shiori. Now, I'm going to first read what was written here for this. And it says, okay, designer's note, day 11, to be Omnitsu is to become
Omnimitsu.
Omni.
Omnimitsu.
What he said
Yeah.
is to become the sharp eyes and keen ears of the Shogun, to unmask the Akuma before her mysterious schemes unfold and bring chaos to the land, to be master, Joe,
Omnimitsu.
of the Empress Kyova is to become the Akuma herself. Happy Friday. See everyone on Monday. So now, I know there was there's been debate on this. Everybody's saying this is Shiori 2.0. Now, speculations, reasons, speak to me, people. Why are we thinking this?
I say it's her costume, her weapon choice, her hair, the mask, the pointy shoulder pads that she has.
The
She's still wearing the skirt. The fact that she is a ninja.
And confirmed Einar as well.
Looks
Yeah,
like it's
confirmed
from
Einar because she's working with Empress Kyova. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of just direct things to tying to that character.
But nobody said so, right?
Nobody, I
No.
don't think it's been
But
confirmed.
no confirmed.
No, but then again, nobody confirmed
No,
Sonlin either.
They didn't confirm someone either.
They didn't.
But that
But
was
no,
pretty
Chris-
obvious.
Chris was like, I thought it was obvious. And everyone-
Yeah.
It's like you can't say that. Like we're scapers. We read into everything, so you can't. You gotta we wait until you tell us. Otherwise, we're gonna literally not say what it is. But no, it is. I think it's just like the general precedence. Like every Friday, they were hinting at a different kind of teaser than the week's teaser.
It seems like a different type of OG hero that's been kind of updated a bit. Yeah.
Because we got the Sonlin update, so a lot of people immediately, just based on the appearance and the way it's being presented so far, it definitely feels like they're trying to say that's a Shiori 2.0.
That makes sense
So-
for sure.
And then the terminology, because the words that they were using, these are all Japanese words from the feudal era, from the Sengoku Jidai. So they're trying to tie her more deeply into the lore of her origin, which is really nice. I like seeing that. Plus, because I like anime, so
And it's
a weeb time.
it almost sounded too. Maybe I might have to reread it, but the character in this received a promotion, or she became something
Yes.
else, and she is a hero of Swarm of the Morrow, that whole story arc. So she was up for a promotion, and I think the figure is up for a promotion too. Figure, stat line, I think Shiori 2.0 would be cool, but it sounds like they're gonna, not it sounds like, but just by them doing this, like Jeremy referenced earlier, they might be doing 2.0s of all the Swarm of the Morrow. Unique heroes.
I think that's the bridge. That's what because they've been telling us from day one, backwards compatible.
I see. Yeah.
This is not going to be a Heroscape that will force you to replace your old Heroscape.
Mhm.
They want us. I mean, and just kind of going back to. I won't read the whole thing, but this is going back to the OG announcement. What was it? What did it say? Recognition of our past and the path towards our future. That
For
specific terminology. They
Yeah.
want us to know that this game is Heroscape, and they're showing us by creating updated versions of these characters and what they're up to since the start of this new era.
For sure.
Now I got a question.
Because they're definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
I got a question when it comes to the artwork, because I'm looking at I have the drawings posted here. Do you notice the two little bottles, or are those grenades that are on her side there? Would those be grenades, or would those be
Like a
potions?
smoke powder,
Or
Yeah,
smoke
smoke
powder.
powder.
hide in smoke, or a vanish
ninjas
ability.
used a lot of vanish techniques
Okay.
in there, so that would
makes
probably
sense.
she probably has a new vanish power.
But and I also see
a
a utility belt in the back of her too, and lots of pockets, almost like a Batman style utility belt here. That I noticed lots and lots of pockets.
Yeah, on my
That's
I.
fancy detail for miniatures.
That's true.
The more
Yeah.
more crap you stick on a miniature, the better they look. That's just how they are these days. So
right.
even there's no reason why they carry that stuff.
Well, hopefully there's a reason. Hopefully there's a reason for everything they do and they post on here, because we need reasons. We need plenty of reasons.
Knowledge.
Yeah, and I mean, I might be minority here, but I mean, because yes, we did get like a 2.0 hero from the Friday previous, so it makes sense, and I'm a little bit more convinced that it probably is Shiori 2.0 now. But part of me still thinks, I mean, there's like 3 of them there, and it just could be different versions of the same miniature, but if it's a squad, I don't know if I'd be surprised or not. Joe, what's up?
I just realized who else is what came out of Swarm of the Morrow that we might get a sequel of.
What's that?
Q10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. A lot of
Yeah, I'm
people keep
thinking there's
saying-
there's definitely some characters, even like Torkel Nah. I don't think he needs a second.
No.
Like, I think they could.
No,
There's just a
keep
few.
saying-
No, but at least as of the heroes that are in
Yeah.
that pack,
Yeah.
would be that would be dope. I'd like that.
People keep saying in chat they want Q10 to die, and I'm just like, stop it. Like, y'all need to quit. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Jerks.
Y'all need like go get you some ice cream. Go get you go sit down and think about your decisions, because if you want Q10 to die, there's something wrong. I get so like I read that and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Q10's amazing. Why would you want him dead? Like, why? Like,
Even his like backstory, like just the fact that he's a merciful Soulborg.
He was put to death by the Soulborg, like the larger, the Zetnin Combine. They were going to kill him because he showed mercy to someone he should have killed. Now, okay, so if you mind, do you mind me getting a little deep dive into this?
Go ahead.
So, this actually comes from a script that was written for the webisodes, right? That this actually didn't get created, but the script still exists. I found the script, or no, someone else found the script, and then I posted it on the Heroscaper's website, and you can actually download it now if you're interested. You can go to the downloads, go to Theme and Fiction. It's a Lost Webisode script, right? So whatever's going on, like if you read that script, there's actually a lot of deep lore from Heroscape that never really got referenced in the characters' stories and stuff like that. And they talk about Q10's story, where he was trained by this other Soulborg, like in this this martial arts dojo or whatever. And so when he ended up losing a fight. And so according to the Zetnin Combine, if you lose a fight, you're a defective unit and you have to be cast aside. The way they do that is by apparently throwing you into a gladiator pit, right? And so Q10 was thrown into a gladiator pit, and he was forced to attack his old master. And instead of he fought and he won the fight, and instead of killing his old master, he extended a hand of friendship. He went to go pick him up, get him off the ground, and then that guy got sniped to death. Like they shot him up because this is in the webisode. So his old master gets killed, and then they turn the guns to shoot him, and that's when he gets summoned.
Wow.
And I'm like he was showing mercy at this moment where he was expected to kill his old master, and that's why and he even says it in the webisode. He's like, I'm defective.
Yeah.
I can't go back to Alpha Prime.
Drake.
They'll just kill me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's insane. Like it's such a good story. And if they just go like Avalon Hill, Chris, if you're listening right now, don't kill Q10, please. He's got a lot of potential. You got to close the story first, and then we'll talk about it. Close the story.
Or hire Jeremy, and that way he gets in charge of the story.
I'll keep them all alive.
Yeah. I'll just keep on saying that.
100 seasons long.
Time Jeremy's here. Just hire the man.
100 seasons of Heroscape. Never stop.
Hire the lore master. Come on. He writes the Wikipedia, for crying out loud. Come on.
So I was just looking through some of the previous, artwork they've released for some of the other heroes. Like you have the Morrow Pirate, and then you have Pirate Queen Bonnie. And with this new one here, we're trying to decide whether it's a hero or a squad. The most recent one for Friday has a lot more dynamic poses in terms of different way the characters pose in terms of the artwork versus what we've seen before. So Pirate Queen Bonnie is she's really only got like one pose in her 7 different ways she's displayed in her artwork, but with some different. We don't see this whole legs in different positions, crouching, standing, bouncing on one foot. So maybe it's squad because we see so much more dynamic approach to the artwork.
That's
We'll
and
see,
that's what I was thinking too. That it possibly is like a 3 ninja squad. And I know some of you guys were saying, "Well, why would we need more ninjas?" And I'm just like, "Why not?"
They just need bonding. If you give
Yeah, that's fine.
If the
I'll take it.
Onmitsu squad has bonding that allows you to move one of the ninja heroes, then all of a sudden all the ninjas become relevant, and that's cooler. Like that works because then
Yeah,
we can play
for
them.
sure.
Like it's easier to draft the ninjas instead of like tell me if I'm wrong. For the most part, I think Isamu is literally just a filler unit. I've never seen Isamu actually played as like like
He's
I
not
want
played.
Isamu.
Build a team around
I
Isamu.
need Isamu in my team. No, it's like I
Yeah.
got 10 points. Let me just get this guy.
Now in
Like
the lore,
no one thinks of him as an actual character to play.
the lore
So-
though, doesn't he like wipe out one of like the airborne elite? Like there used to be 5 airborne elite, and they wiped one out.
Fourth mass. He attacked one.
Oh, okay.
Was it? Wait,
No,
now
I think it was airborne elite because I think we discussed this like a while ago.
right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
Isamu.
pull it up real quick.
So
And
I mean-
yeah, he did attack one of the because they used that as a. I know they did that as like a visual on
backstory,
his ability,
kind of, yeah.
ability to kill Jandar units.
Right.
Like, his dishonorable attack.
I plan to write that and that character. And I know he's very useless like miniature, but he's going to be a very like fun character
Airborne
to,
Elite.
to write into
Yeah, I was thinking.
Tales of a House since they have a history.
Where was the fourth mass then? Oh, I was thinking Deathstalkers.
Yeah.
Right. They mentioned the fourth mass and the Deathstalkers. That's where I was threw myself off.
All right. Well,
Yep.
before we move on, any more thoughts about this this either individual ninja or squad of ninjas?
I
That have
do
yet
want
to be
to
named.
one more thing from my end.
One quick question too. So
Yeah,
wanna
yeah, go ahead.
first.
Oh,
Okay, I'll go first.
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jason.
So.
No, we're
Ryan's got to step in and tell us which one to go first. No. Did she have a squad of her own back in the day? I see the other ninjas, but they didn't really look like her per se.
No,
No, she
there was nothing for
she
her
was like-
specifically.
So
like in
it's
her
just-
story, she ran away from Einar, and
Okay.
and then I don't know how. So what's really funny about this, right, is like everybody had this like really specific representative for the alliances, right? So you got of course Sergeant Drake Alexander and Raylan, the representatives of Yandar, and then you got Major Q10, representative of Vidar, and then Shiori, the ninja that tried to run away. Like you're like wait, what? Like you're representing the entire alliance. Are you sure about that? Like she was good, but it was just funny. They just kind of put her there, like, oh yeah, and her, and you're like, oh, okay, sure, I guess, yeah. But she's earned her colors. Now she's on Mitsu, so she serves as the master spy of Empress Kyova. So that's pretty cool. But yeah,
I look forward
just
to more information on that too. So
mhm.
for sure.
Just to give everybody a head, or just like quick overview on my end, for those that want to know, history lore. The Onmitsu are undercover ninja agents. They're employed by the government and the shogun, which if you know your Warring States history, the shogun were the highest military power during that civil war. So like each clan had shogun, and then you had daimyos, and then you had emperors and all that stuff. But like the shoguns had all the military power in that during that civil war. So the Onmitsu are like basically the right hand individuals of the shogun for spy work, and they were in power during the 1700s. And then the word Akuma is in reference to an evil spirit. So I assume just reading that they're trying to talk about Ukars, and at least for me they said her, so I thought they were talking about Runar. Or Runa, like the female
Right. Yeah.
evil Kyrie. Because I was like an Akuma that's a lady. That's the only demon-looking lady that I know. But that I think the thing is, I was trying to talk about that in the Discord, and everyone's like, "That's not what it says." No, oh, okay. But like, We don't know. It's all speculation.
Mhm.
But Akuma does refer to a demon or an evil spirit in Japanese.
But you're free to
For
speak
reference to who
here,
doesn't know.
and anybody who's watching this live, I mean, feel free to leave a comment in the chat, and we will mention it. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below and tell us what you think about all this as well. And speaking of YouTube comments, if everyone's got nothing else to say, we're gonna go.
I'm good.
We're gonna move on to YouTube comments from last Wednesday's live stream. We have a few here. Of course, Chris Nadeau saying you guys look silly. We already covered that. Thank you, Ben. And I'm going to, let's see, we got from 2 other people here. I think, here, let me get to this one first. All right, we got Steve Munar says, wow, just recently found all of you new to me YouTubers. Used to play Heroscape, then kind of went away. Even recently tried to find anyone local in New York, Long Island, really. So thank you all for all the great info and your takes on the new stuff. And Steve also, let's see here, what is he? He also says, second thing, I'm hoping they do the HasLab release announcement next month for sure. Did he mean to say Hasbro, or is that HasLab a thing?
HasLab's a thing.
Okay, HasLab is a thing. Okay.
It's the playtest.
That's how clueless
kind of
I am.
The Kickstarter version of it.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Because we're all thinking it's probably going to be maybe Kickstarter based, or
Yeah.
we don't know.
Like they
We
do
actually
here,
we
but-
have no idea how they're going to release this yet. But yeah. Okay. So that's the speculation. Anyway, thank you, Steve.
Lab is their crowdfunding platform, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve, for those comments. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and also subscribe to these guys too. If you want more like Heroscape miniature wargaming information, they definitely have the goods. And then another Stephen Taylor, and he commented from the last video talking about the podcast, actually, I think, and says, yeah, came across your channel and definitely thought it was my lane. I think the podcast format is also more accessible for digesting, as I often listen while commuting and download to listen, so it doesn't matter for reception. As to content analysis of these teasers from a story perspective, or why this is cool, is much more interesting than the meta personally. So not overlapping, stepping on toes there, hopefully. And so it just, he basically encouraged about giving us about doing making this into a podcast, and thank you, Stephen, for the comments. And like I said, I am very much now considering it, although I don't know when that process is going to take place, of maybe putting this somewhere in the podcast sphere. It's something I'd have to research, and I have to take the time to do that. So it's a wait and see type thing, but definitely glad to have you on board. And I've noticed that I've had a few people come on board with just that they just want to listen to this, which it's, I mean, for me, that I just make stop motion animated Heroscape miniatures fight each other. This is kind of a new thing, so I mean, we're taking this as it comes, and yeah, just happy to have you, and feel free to leave a comment again on whatever we're talking about here tonight for sure. So thank you very much. So that is the YouTube comments, and then before we get into our segment called Chris's Question, which is not really a question, more of a statement, because we're going to be talking about folklore, there is a couple of Discord comments that actually I usually actually screenshot a bunch of comments from Facebook and Discord, and I might do on any given night maybe 1, 2, or 10, depending on how the time is. I'm just going to actually probably focus on 2 tonight. Here, let me pop them up. First one I want to definitely mention is, let me get this here. I got to find the right one. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves while I look at these.
I mean, I'll definitely help you look into doing making this a podcast. Try to get something on Spotify. I'll even reach out to Mike, in charge of
Spotify podcast, a good one.
why can't I think of it? what's his podcast? Shit.
So
Casters of Valhalla.
Matt,
Caster-
yeah,
oh,
Casters
yeah.
of Valhalla. And ask him his process and how he got started with it. So,
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
so that you could even just like
I know it's
not
kind of a
even have to
simple
do any editing of
thing.
it.
I mean, I just would have to render the audio and then
literally just extract the
set
video,
set up a
put audio.
Spotify account, kind of, and then just upload stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
if you
it's
wanted, I'll tell you about it later. But there's an actual bot. There's a bot you can install in Discord that will record our audio while we're talking, and then send it to you at the end of the thing. So that
Yeah, I
way-
gotta look
I'm
into
not
the
that
bots
advanced.
things. I don't know anything about Discord.
Yeah, there's so many things that it's like extra
Jeremy,
gizmos
set
and
up a
gadgets
class.
and stuff, and it's like
Set up a class and get us a PowerPoint presentation, maybe a TED talk,
I got
and
you.
then teach us about the Discord. You know.
Anywho, okay, I found what I was looking for, so let's go to this. Okay, so Majora's incarnation is, of course, Jeremy, and Jeremy was talking on the Discord chat and saying he was talking about Sonlin, and just talking about some lore there, and he says something like it was an instant like Sonlin would just talk and he both spoke, and the Moon Tribe understood it. So they were talking about languages and how everybody understood each other. And Craig Van Ness himself said 2 words, which was all he needed to say. I'm impressed.
I'll write for you. Come on.
That's
I
too cool.
I got this. I'll help
Because
you
he
all
hasn't really commented much on this. You
No,
see him,
he's been pretty quiet.
He's watching.
I've seen him
'cause
do
you see
reactions here and
you see
there.
his dot, but he doesn't really comment much. So yeah, and then Jeremy went on to say, I'm gonna put it up here. And when he says I'm impressed, and Jeremy says I've been researching Heroscape plot for years, consulting for Tales of a Hell official, who is moi. Love your team's work on the characters, and there's 2 likes. One is me, and the other like is Craig Van Ness himself.
Yeah.
So now I have
that was nice.
now
though.
this is something that's just for my own. Rest of you guys don't have to care about this, but has he watched any episode? Has he watched any ToV episode? I have to know, and I just it just drives me up the wall a little bit. It's just like, there's someone who's very invested in the story here. Come on, okay. Anyway, I did my rant at the very first of these things, so I won't say anymore. Call me, Greg.
Jeez.
Call me. Okay. Anyway, and there is one other thing, and this might take 40 seconds of us not saying anything at all, because there was one thing that just kind of got me like my eye twitching on Discord comments, and I commented on this, but I am just going to show something when it comes to this. So first, let me find this one. Hopefully it's this one. Yes. Okay. So we have a person, I don't know, gentleman, lady, whatever, but someone named Lincoln Tunnel was mentioning the fact that you see in here, I still want an animated movie, and I kind of leave a link for my page, closest you are going to get for now, and or you know, like a show, or even a 45-minute TV special. I'm going to keep trying to will one into existence, and then I'm just like ahem, and I show this, and so, and I seem to be kind of ignored. So guess what? For those of you who are watching this and wondering what I do, here's 40 seconds of what I do.
Just a mission.
You are going on a quest, a journey into the depths of Valhalla with no easy way out.
Interesting.
That was just in case you, the audience, wanted to know.
games and movies.
That is what I do. I make a darn show, and I know it's not Netflix, oh, it's not Disney, oh, it's not Amazon. You know what? They probably couldn't do much better. I mean, well, they probably could. But as far as stop motion animation is concerned, about as like someone who's invested in the story and who wants to do good in the story and who respects the characters and the lore, you ain't gonna find anything else out there like this. So you can keep on hoping for, you know, some of these big name things out there to do something, but it's already happening. So go watch it. We have hours and hours of this stuff, of content, of characters that you love within the game, in this series. So watch it. Okay, I'm done with my ranting. All right.
Well done.
I'll add on.
Yeah,
I can add on a little
Jason.
bit of historical context about some of this stuff, because there have been several games in the past that I've had contacts with Hollywood movie productions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always want that. It sounds like
Exactly.
you're gonna have your game made into a
They don't
story,
do well.
but
That's another point.
the two that I'm talking about never even made it into production, because we saw like the overview of one from MechWarrior / BattleTech. It sounded awful because they weren't really respecting any of the major events from the story in the BattleTech universe. It would have been awesome for a movie. They wanted to write a story about 4 teenage kids growing up in like an academy, and like no. And then also Monster Apocalypse, which is a kind of a parody of the Kaiju franchise, had one at some point, and maybe purely by coincidence, after that it fell apart, the game disappeared for 10 years. So yeah, you may not necessarily want to get big budget companies involved, because they're going to want a lot of control over the story, and they're not going to respect the source material.
Exactly.
Really
You want to
we have,
respect the source material. You want to have someone who
recently-
does that.
For anyone that might be familiar with the franchise of Monster Hunter, which it's a Capcom game. You basically go fight these giant monsters, and it's a really fun game. Like I really enjoyed it. They made a big old budget movie with it, and they had this actress, Mila. I think her name is Mila. She did all the Resident Evil movies or whatever. She's an actress from there. They put her in the film, and it didn't work. Like
I remember that.
It was released, and no one talked about it. It just flopped, and everyone's just like, it wasn't a Monster Hunter movie because it didn't feel like Monster Hunter. It didn't have the Monster Hunter vibe. That's the problem. It's like everybody wants these big budget films, and I understand that. Like, I mean, it would be. I envision. I have a very active imagination. When I play Heroscape, I see the fights in my head. I see them go. The Soulborg attacking tomorrow and all that stuff. It's great to watch, right?
You just saw it. You just saw it. See, and that's what I envisioned in my head too, and I just went and did it.
Right. But that's the thing. It's like you want a big budget thing. You're going to probably not. You're probably going to get something like the Monster Hunter movie that just came out. That's not great. So that's all I guess. It's
like any video game based movie.
Hollywood has not been able to effectively capture the video game or board game medium into a movie.
There's some exceptions.
Battleship.
Battleship was good. I don't know what you're talking about.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't Battleship. It wasn't
bad.
There's no
it
story
was just
there.
very hard.
They had hit markers. They missed. They played the game with aliens.
Yeah, aliens.
Anything like that.
When in doubt, throw aliens into the mix. Oh my gosh.
That's how it works.
And have who was directing? Wasn't it? What's his name?
Michael Bay?
Yeah, it was a Michael Bay.
It was a Michael Bay film, yeah.
So it's gonna be, if it's a Michael Bay film, you know what you're gonna get. Which, I mean, if you
We got exactly what we got. We got Battleship the movie.
Explosion.
But no, I would say there are some exceptions to that rule though, like Sonic. I just recently watched the first Sonic movie back like a couple months ago, and I enjoyed that. I thought that was very well written for a character that they probably had no idea what to do with the character starting out.
I mean, did you see the original Sonic?
So,
Oh, you mean like all the shows?
yeah,
No,
cartoon
the,
shows? Not much.
So
Are you
the
talking
movie.
about the trailer that everyone ragged on, and they redid all the visual effects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a whole marketing ploy. They didn't do that. No, they wanted to go for the meme. They knew what they were doing.
We might talk
might
video
have.
game films or something more in depth in the future. I'd love to have that conversation.
Yeah,
but let's close that and let's move on
got
to
this.
the
Yeah.
main to Chris's question if we want to do that. I know because it's gonna go on forever. But yeah, anything else before we wrap that up? Because I just got
No, go ahead.
Okay.
It's
We're
sure.
talking to 2
It's sure.
hours, so
I know.
let's-
My rant. Anyway, my point is Tales of Valhalla is named for a reason, is because there is stop motion content out there that's I would say personally really really good, or has gotten really good over time, and it's getting better, and it's even being created as we speak. There's story, there's character depth and character arcs within the story, within this obviously non-canon version of the Heroscape universe, which maybe might become canon someday, maybe, I don't know, but it's there, and it's there for people to enjoy. It is my love letter to not just Craig Van Ness and all the people who design Heroscape, but the Heroscape community. It really is. So please play that while you're playing Heroscape or after you're playing Heroscape, and enjoy it. It's meant to be enjoyed over and over and over again. Like my 4-year-old son, he likes to watch a few episodes. One involved with fire, one that involves fire, one that involves spiders, because it's all he asks throughout every day now. It's his favorite episodes with the spiders, and like season 2 episode 1 with the dragon spouting fire. It's all he wants to watch. So it on repeat all the time, and it is definitely rewatchable stuff. So yeah, watch it now. Okay. All right, so let's get into Chris and Carmine's lore question, because we'll be probably talking about this for a little bit, and he actually mentioned this on the Discord. So I'm actually just going to pop open that Discord comment here, because it's here. Akuma Uja was saying, I will confess that I'm somewhat less interested in these factions that I could be mainly, and I don't know what the whole but basically someone was saying I'm not really interested in this stuff, and so and Carmine Chris kind of did like a promotional challenge basically, and basically said maybe join Tales of Valhalla official this week or this Sunday, basically, to discuss this lore discussion week 2. Consider those left behind, the legends and myths, glimpses of the divine in the skies on the eve of battle, winged figures in the heavens looking down on the carnage of war, and flashes of light and the raw energy of the cosmos flickering across your sight as your greatest warriors are lost without a trace. Think of the campfire stories, the epic sagas of those who witnessed the acts of gods, in quotations, before their eyes. We call them angels, we proclaim them demons, we give the forms in the clouds names like Zeus, Odin, Shiva, Horus, Quetzalcoatl. Actually, that is a name of something used in Final Fantasy, but they are not of this world. They are something else, no less powerful, but from another place, another time. When the flash of lightning has faded, we sing songs of faraway realms of eternal war, where our sisters and brothers raise swords for causes greater than our own. We speak of Valhalla, we call it Ragnarok. And then he says here on the bottom, why would we abandon the magic of our brand? This is not a reboot, but a new dawn, one displaying a sunrise of ominous crimson red and blackened skies of portent. So yeah, and Airball, hey, welcome to the live stream tonight. We're having a party, right? Yes, exactly, right.
I don't have any alcohol though.
Yeah, no alcohol here. We're just high on the Heroscape of life. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Thanks for
Where's my
chatting.
disco ball?
Feel free to comment. We're discussing this a piece of lore, and a lot of people got really simply something.
Yeah, simply something.
A lot of people commented on this because everybody was kind of given a fast forward insight on now kind of what they're thinking of mythology and process within this world. And Jeremy discussing this before we went live too, a little bit about what he was talking about. But people were really excited. So Jeremy, you're our lore guy, you're our mythology guy. Give us the details, man.
All right, so this is an attempt, and I think it was a really interesting segue because, of course, the whole thing started because the debate was these factions, they don't feel hero-escapey enough. That's been the debate. I've seen it in the forums. I've seen it in the Discord. A lot of people are like, this doesn't feel like old Heroscape. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I respect it, I promise. But I'm still just open-minded about it because to me, a lot of this is still new, and I'm waiting till we get full development first prior to my final judgments. But, a lot of people are dropping immediately. They're like, no, this isn't Heroscape. And one of the debates was this comment where, well, the factions look too much like Warhammer. I want factions that look like they belong in Heroscape. Where's the Valkyrie? Where's that? They're mentioning all this stuff.
We haven't even seen everything yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. We haven't seen everything yet, but that was the concern, and Chris took his time out to write this lore discussion as an answer to that concern. And so what he effectively has done is taken the legends of Earth, so Earth in the Heroscape universe, all the legends, all the mythology, all the stories that we have. And he mentioned deities by name, and he's saying that these stories of these deities, everything that we know about these deities in our mythos, in the Heroscape universe, is inspired by the Valkyrie. Like their presence when they come down and when they're grabbing characters and they're bringing them out to Valhalla, whoever see that happening, whoever gets left behind in that process, and they see that happening on the fields of battle, they're like, what did I just see? And from that moment, they start creating these stories that lead to the development of the religions behind Zeus and Odin and Shiva and Horus and Quetzalcoatl. We've mentioned these deities, and these are major civilizations, right? We got Greece, the Scandinavians. Shiva is a principal deity of Hinduism, right? Horus is Egyptian, and Quetzalcoatl is Aztec. Right. So he mentioned these massive empires and the religions that were backing these massive empires as being started by the presence of the Valkyrie, which is pretty crazy because you're like, wow. So we're not just talking about the simple idea of characters being taken away from the timeline. The Valkyrie are literally influencing culture itself and like embedding themselves in the history of humanity time and time again.
Over time.
Over time. Yeah,
past, present, future.
over the process of history, people have seen the Valkyrie appear, take these characters away, and not knowing what they were seeing, turned it into a religion. And you're like, whoa, that's so crazy that they've thought this deep into it, and how that influence and how that, and especially the opening line to that topic, consider those left behind. Because we're talking about these religions, these cultures, these mythologies develop over thousands of years after the fact. But he's saying that in the story of Heroscape, they were inspired by the presence of the Valkyrie coming and taking these characters away. And what we saw, what these people see. And you can kind of get an idea what that looks like. If you watch the webisodes, right? The webisodes came out 2004, 2005, 2006. They show a summoning sequence. Like they're literally like, there's this weird like quantum spatial distortion that takes these characters away. And there are characters that remain behind. Even in the beginning, the first webisode, the ninjas that attack the samurai, right? The samurai gets whisked away, and the ninjas are like, no, you were there. We just saw you. We tried to kill you, and you disappeared. Now, what is that ninja thinking? What does that ninja do with that knowledge of witnessing his target just vanish into thin space? That's what Encarmine is getting us to think about. What would that ninja do as a result? And then how does that influence culture into the future, leading to yet another Valkyrie event? So it's just like, I mean, that was just a really cool way to tie in. And now I have a question for Chris, if he's listening, or if he wants to answer this. Feel free to answer this.
They're always listening.
They're always listening.
That's very apparent.
When he watches this YouTube video tomorrow, yeah.
Right. So the Valkyrie influenced the cultures and religions and mythology of Earth. Did they do the same for the other planet? Do the elves of Phaland have gods based on the Valkyrie? Do the Soulborg of Alpha Prime have some sort of thing to explain what's going on to their robot units that keep disappearing? Do every planet have some sort of way to explain the disappearances? I want to know that. Because we can explain it with Earth, because Earth got the mythology, Earth got all that history and culture. Do the other planets
Have the same, like, or have similar mythologies?
Do they interact the same way? Yeah.
Or
because I wanna
they
know.
name different, things,
Yep. That's what I want to know. I want to know if they thought of that.
The only reason I don't think he addressed that is that majority of fans of the game, or majority of people that may play the game, won't understand that coming from if he was like, oh, well, the people from Phelan thought of this general and this god, and they like it's easier to
use
relate
mythology.
Sure.
Relate to us
We're all
as
from Earth.
the humans and that race and I'm assuming they would have had to have some kind of impact.
Right.
What happens when you take the king or queen from that area and you're like, all right, they're gone, and everyone's like, what happened? What do we do now? Like,
I mean, Niflheim, the white dragon, was in the process of being assassinated by nice. The white dragon Niflheim was in the process of being assassinated by the Nosker, and then disappears. Like, I mean, you're thinking about, okay, so this cult just watched their target disappear. What happens? What do they do? What do they plan for it? Are they suddenly afraid of the results of trying to assassinate another dragon? Do they stop trying to assassinate the dragons because apparently now you can't even do it anymore? Like, that's the thing. There's so much effects that are going. They have taken the time to explain to us that there are actual very severe and tangible effects on culture and the surrounding environment because of these summoning. Which, I mean, it ties into the last question, right? The stuff that kept coming onto Valhalla, the exotic vegetation and the seagulls and stuff like that. Like, things are changing because of these summonings, and not only on Valhalla, but also on the other planets. So, pretty cool stuff. I dig it. I thought it was a great discussion. The great thought point to follow with.
Oh, I want to toss out some ideas here and answer the questions, because granted, going the Eric von Däniken route for sci-fi storytelling is always a good way to go.
Right.
Yes, he's the creator of Ancient Aliens idea, Eric von Däniken,
Yeah,
the original author
yeah.
of that from Chariot of the Gods. Why, with the Heroscape story, why would it really matter what happens on these other planets when people are taken away, unless there's some sort of manipulation going on? Because, if the Valkyrie is picking out random heroes and bad guys because they need them for an army, why would we care what happens to Earth or what happens to other planets? Unless, like, Utgar or somebody figured out, hey, wait a minute, maybe I can start doing these summonings or potentially sending people back to manipulate these worlds and create an army of super soldiers.
That was his plan.
Manipulating time.
Yander actually had a vision of seeing Utgar do that. Like, in one of the visions he had, he saw Utgar sending soldiers back to the other worlds to take them over, which is the whole reason why they started the alliance. He's like, we gotta team up because this is a really bad future. If we let this happen, we're screwed. Not just us, but the entire galaxy. So that point you're making is actually like a real thing they were.
I just
Not necessarily going back to take over worlds. It's going back to manipulate the inhabitants.
Just lead it
to
into
make them
your
friendly to you.
Right.
Turn them into soldiers for you.
Adjust the
or
future for
something
you.
along those lines. Yeah.
I just had a thought. What if Age of Annihilation, what if that means that it's not Valhalla that's been annihilated? What if it's the whole universe that's been annihilated? And the only ones that are left are on Valhalla. I could be very wrong about that,
could you imagine?
But I just thought of that. I just thought of that.
I doubt that because
I
they
could
wouldn't
be wrong.
I doubt that only because that limits them from bringing new stuff to Valhalla.
Not if they go back in time
to fix it before it happens.
Or get people out before Annihilation happens to the rest of the universe. Then they could get them.
Well,
because
maybe Valhalla is the present, and that's why they're grabbing people from different times
in the past
and different past because
Annihilation
in their far future. Yeah,
if you go too
Not a bad idea, Ryan. I like that a lot.
I mean, I could be very wrong, but it's just a thought. You know.
Well,
I
the
hope
thing
not.
is, Ragnarok, the legend of Ragnarok, the finale of the gods, the twilight of the gods, that era, it affects every single one of the 9 realms, right? So the Norse actually believed in multiple from the get-go. It wasn't just Earth, or for them it was Midgard. They had a realm of the gods, they had a realm of the giants, they had the realm of the elves, all that stuff.
And
right?
I'm basing that off what you've told me too. That's what I was
Ragnarok
thinking.
affected all of those worlds.
Exactly.
And so when the world was ending, it wasn't just Midgard ending.
Right.
It was all 9 worlds ending at the simultaneously. So yeah, that would actually play into the legend very, very, very effectively. Like all the worlds are being destroyed at the same time.
Chris, did I hit the nail on the head?
Yeah, right.
Probably not, but just.
The only issue with like blowing up the entire universe and pulling people with things, you get in this whole time travel thing.
Yeah.
Where
I know.
nothing makes sense, and it just becomes a total cluster.
Paradox. That's what Heroscape is, though, Jason.
That's what it is.
Nothing makes sense.
No, but the thing is, it's all right with Heroscape because you don't care what's going on outside Valhalla.
Right.
All that matters is what's going on
All the
outside
wars in
Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah.
And all the time travel stuff and pulling people from other worlds is just a plot why you have all these cool characters in one place. It's not
Right.
really like a major driver, a major story element per se in terms of how the actual game and world's evolving. Where if you start actually interacting with other worlds at different times, weird stuff starts happening, and it's just it gets crazy.
But again, in the original intro video for Heroscape, you have them grabbing people throughout all time. They're already interworking
Yes.
through time and taking them to Valhalla at Valhalla's
Yes.
present time.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there already is time travel involved.
There is, but all it really is a way to bring
Destination
cool people to
thing.
a world.
Not like
It's not like we don't really care what the effects of the time travel are.
we're not tracking it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
What if they
really
do?
okay. Now that Sergeant Drake Alexander's here, do we got to go back to 3 years beforehand to try to find a way to bring him before and go? It's not like Back to the Future stuff where you're going six ways and not trying
It
to run
just
into
makes
yourself or
other
whatever it is.
branches.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
It just makes other timelines.
It might make a multiverse, like I was saying. Like, you might have these might be multiverse creatures, I know.
It's just like, yeah, and that does make a lot of sense. I think for like right now that we know that the Valkyrie have inspired the mythologies of Earth, it's like they have affected the timeline every single time they've summoned a character, and like it's made me think. It's like with repeated summonings, does that lead to the development of future units? Right, so like for example, Agent Cars from Earth in 2210, right, AD 2210, like would the development of the agency that gave him his rank or whatever, what if that was a result of the repeated summonings over time? They started tracking it throughout history, and they're just like, we need to figure out why this keeps happening, and boom, there's a secret agency that's like tracking summonings or something like that in the future of Earth because of the results of the past or something. Like it
Awesome.
leads directly to new units or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. But
I don't know.
yeah, it's like
hopefully they do expand on the story in some way, though, and
Right.
not just. And
it's a good thought experiment.
Because it was the story was kind of I don't know if I'd call it generic, but it was like kind of the thing to where everybody was guessing of
versus
what they were
evil.
talking about. Yeah, it was very very simple. They had people coming in from different times, different characters and stuff, but that wasn't expanded upon about what's the interworkings of the stories, just a little bit. So I really hope they give a lot more depth to that. And I think the way Chris is doing things, the way he's talking about that type of stuff, I mean, what we first reported on with Chris and Carmine was about expanding the story, about bringing people in for more stories. So I think we'll see more of that. It depends on how vast that is, or how that's planned to be. Again, call me, I can help. So can Jeremy. So anyway, yeah.
That's the thing too, though. This is the new age of Heroscape, so this could be their time to make those other worlds that they are drawing from relevant. So this could be like the new development of Heroscape is now other worlds being affected, and how maybe there's team ups off Valhalla to infiltrate, Valhalla. And that could be what you're talking about in the future. They are tracking these disappearances, so maybe now there's some way where they can definitively track where it came from, and there's a squad of future soldiers sent to Valhalla to, something along those lines. To
Valkyrie
where
shows up. He shows up and then gets tagged and bagged by some.
Exactly.
They were waiting. They were waiting for him. They're like, so we know
Yep.
you're going to summon in the middle of a battle, so let's make a mock battle and get
Valkyrie
someone almost.
Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, right.
Valkyrie
Yeah. Oh
Bounty
my
Hunter.
gosh,
That
the
would be
Valkyrie
something.
Bounty Hunter, dude.
It's a
This guy
common
just
theme.
waiting. He's just waiting for them to summon, and he just shows up and takes them out or something.
or even
You see that in a lot of games where you have like the wizard or mage hunter, who's basically their characters are trying to hunt down and kill some powerful people. There's a whole story arc in War Machine about that, how the one race is trying to kill all the powerful spellcasters because they think it's killing their god. So you could see something like that where the people are trying to hunt down the Valkyries from other planets.
That's a cool idea. I like that idea.
Yeah, and also like the idea that Jason was saying about them going to different worlds and corrupting them in order to bring super soldiers back. What about a Kyrie that knows about their influence and how they've affected the lore
Right.
or the mythology
that's a
of
lot of
Earth,
power.
coming to Earth and proclaiming that they're a deity to
Right.
taint the world, or
If they
you know,
knew that
something
they were
like that.
creating a religion, it would go to their head. Like, I mean,
For
it's
sure.
just like that is a
Exactly.
lot of power to have to
And
give to
it-
one individual.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of Utgar's units don't have anything to do with Earth, so he could even use that as a chance to come summon some Earth, units, that some serial killers or something like that,
Right.
like some bad people that were on Earth.
Right.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the idea. It's a really cool concept.
And that's the great thing about Heroscape is that you can literally imagine anything and it can fit. That's the beauty
Yep.
of the game.
The
and of
imagination
story.
machine. That's what
Yeah.
they call it.
Yeah, the sandbox is vast for sure.
Mm.
Anyway, so wonderful discussion, guys. And anything else you guys want to say on this, Chris? I hope that was some good food for thought for you because, this is how it is. But anything else you guys want to say before we basically close this live stream?
Thanks to Chris, my wallet is struggling because I'm trying to buy Heroscape again. I've been bidding on lots and everything. I'm like, crap. I'm back into this again.
Jeremy, nobody else listen to this? Goodwill.com.
Yep.
Goodwill, or I think it's goodwill.org or something. Goodwill. Just go to Goodwill online. Their auctions.
Good stuff.
Everybody else, ignore that. Ignore what I just said because we don't want you all on there bidding.
Don't buy my stuff.
I shouldn't say much though. After they announced Heroscape, I went on the Hasbro's Pulse website. I'm like, oh wait, I never ordered all the new Hero Quest expansions. So I dropped a bunch of money a few weeks ago on that. So.
Oh boy.
And that's not even this game yet. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gotten a lot of people interested in the other games as well, though. So no, it's great. It's
free
great.
advertising, sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, how about I do this? How about I point in someone's direction, give your final thoughts, and give us your call sign on who you are, what you do, where to go. How about Jason? We start with you.
All right, sounds good. So I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield, as well as Legends of Caladagia, a space combat miniatures game. And you can find my stuff over at tabletopbattlefield.com, where I was painting up some Heroscape miniatures. So I was showing you guys how to paint up the Martin Nogrubs in about 15 minutes to a standard that's very similar to what you expect from the current Heroscape line. So you can check that out over at tabletopbattlefield.com.
Jeremy.
All right. My name is Jeremy, also known as Pro Toen. I am the creator of the Eslam Collet, which is basically my lore dump platform.
cover Final Fantasy 15, to cover Heroscape. Find me on twitch.tv/the_SLM. You can also find me on Twitter, and I post my archived content on YouTube. So basically, the lore guy of Twitch.
He is the lore master.
You're my lore guy for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's. He's the reason why we're here. Joe.
Yeah, I am so excited for this coming week.
Yeah, we got new stuff.
So after what was it Chris or Craig that said about he was very excited? Craig, right?
Yeah.
Craig said he was excited for Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
That's a hard. I mean, dude. They usually been dropping these things like right at like 9:55.
Yeah,
they're like,
I
10
set
o'clock.
my alarm.
But they're like, we're like 9:55. So like, I'm up at that time, and I'm kind of like sitting, editing, doing whatever. And so like, I'll see like, oh, cool, nice. You know, so I scroll over it, I click on it, and go. So I'll be here looking at it. I'm very excited only because other than the fact that it's the Heroscape and whatever, but it's the past 2 weeks of concept art that we've been getting have been really fascinating to me, which is why I'm here with all these amazing people, because between the Dawn Raiders and the Ironclad, they're both factions of characters that I'm like, this is totally fits my vibe. I love the look of these characters, the stories that Chris has been writing down. Obviously, you know, he's been spitting out, you know, from everyone else about these characters. I just can't wait to see what's next. I love the new stuff. You know, no matter what you think, and if it's, you have to accept new things. You have to keep your mind open for these new ideas. If we keep ourselves enclosed and think about, oh, the past,
It's not going to be exactly the same.
No, we can never move forward.
12 years distant.
We'll never move forward. So you guys got to keep yourselves open to these ideas. And they are giving us stuff that we already love. We're getting Sonlin. We're getting Shuri. No matter what you think, Ryan, it's Shuri. You know, it's great. So I'm excited to see what new faction you guys bring to us. And I will be here to check it out. But I will say, for my channel, Joe Crazy 3193, that this today, go check it out on my channel. I have a brand new video, behind the scenes, the making of Utz Cup. I go through everything pre, post, and all the productions on how I go about going through that process. So go check that out. And if you don't know the Utz Cup tournament, you've been living under a rock, okay? Go check it out. It's 10 games of intense battles between myself and all my friends. The Utz Cup tournament. Go check it out. Don't forget, I'm not crazy. I'm still crazy.
And I just finished watching that video too, just before I signed on. So yeah, it's a very nice behind the scenes video. And Airball was saying Severus 2.0 with 18 range.
No.
Please
10
no.
though. 10 would be fair, not 18.
Infinite range. If it's 18, might as well
You just
be.
never move the character.
Yeah, pretty
to the
much.
shooting.
All you need is line of sight. Actually, that would be cool.
Ben!
Give him lob.
Ben. Final thoughts and call side.
Final thoughts. Can't wait for this new announcement tomorrow. I think personally, it's going to be the faction that the Dragon's a part of, that Craig actually hinted to, because he seemed real giddy about that news. So if it's his favorite, I think that's just kind of the hint that I took from it, that it's going to be that new faction that the Dragon's a part of, which I can't wait. Like, they seem like some kind of cult. I don't know, but I can't wait. And then hopefully Friday they give us major Q10 2.0. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be awesome.
Hey, and
but yeah, and just in this convo we've had, I've kind of been swayed that possibly we might have been looking at a squad, and maybe Shiori might be the hero that bonds with that squad. But the poses are so dynamic, and every pose there was 3 of them.
Yes.
I love how we're
Like,
divided
so,
on this.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I'm dividing myself. I'm on the fence, but I think it's Shiori 2.0 because that's kind of the hints they've been giving. But yeah, I can't wait for more of these 2.0s. I'm not 100% like I won't stop playing the game if we get a 3.0 of Raylan or Drake, but just leave that for the back burner. That's not priority right now. That's just my thoughts on this week's news. Can't wait for next Sunday because that's going to be a huge drop. We're going to talk about all week's news. So next Sunday, that's going to be awesome. And just a little promotion of my channel. I'm MK Plus Ultra Ben. My channel, YouTube, MK Plus Ultra. My Instagram _MK Plus Ultra _. I am going to upload a video tomorrow. My first couple battles of ScapeCon, the exhibition matches I did. One with Matt Kress and the other one was with Paul Gearnex on the forums. So look out for those. And one last little thing, I am doing a giveaway for my channel. You can win this Fortress of the Archive brand new inbox set. Jeremy, I don't know if you have this. You should enter, but it might look bad if he won. That would be like I think some inside.
It's all by chance.
It is all by
Right,
chance.
it
So
is all by
I'm telling you right now, if Jeremy won, if he entered, then it's not a scam. So, but yeah, enter Grudge Match Giveaway 2. Just go to my channel, MK Plus Ultra, Heroscape Battle Bros Grudge Match number 2, Torkel Na versus Nilfheim. It was an awesome battle, and if you follow the steps at the end of that episode, you can be entered to win the Fortress of the Archive expansion set, brand new inbox. Winner doesn't even pay shipping, so that's it. That's all I got to say.
Thank
Very
you, Ben.
cool.
And yeah, go
Real
ahead, Jimmy.
quick. So actually, this just completely escaped my mind, so that's why I'm grabbing it. But I just wanted to say something real quick, something really cool I got to do this weekend. So for those that may not know or haven't heard about it, there's an organization called Extra Life, and so it's the Children's Miracle Network. A hospital is where this organization, they gather donations from people who play video games and people who play board games for streaming and stuff like that, who do content related to that, where they collect donations from these individuals and they donate them to local children's hospitals. And so I keep missing the date, right? And I've been wanting to get involved for a long time, the past couple years, but I kept missing the date. And so, Heroscape got announced. Literally, like a couple days later, one of the groups I was working with, they mentioned Extra Life, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot! Oh, did I miss it again?" Right? Because I'm used to missing the date. Turned out it was this weekend, and this weekend was Tabletop Appreciation Weekend. So on Friday, I went live and I taught people how to play Heroscape to collect donations for Children's Hospital. And so far, right now, for the entire Tabletop Appreciation Weekend, we've earned $225, and we're donating that to Erlanger's Children's Hospital in Chattanooga. And so I just wanted a huge shout out to everyone that participated in that. It's still open, by the way, if you do have a chance to consider donating. The money goes straight to Children's Hospitals. It's not to me at all. It goes straight to them. They handle the whole process. And, it's tax deductible and everything. And it's going to be helping kids in hospitals get the treatment that they need for any, if they're trying to get treatment for diseases or anything like that. We're getting them the money to be cured. And it's like, I got to do that, earn money for that, playing Heroscape, which is just, that's huge. So as a result, we got the dice tray. I got, so I'm going to be using that Extra Life dice tray with all my future games now. So thank you everyone that participated in that. That was a lot of fun to do. And I just wanted to put that little good, that positive energy out there. You could really do a lot of amazing things if you put your so keep that in mind when you're playing this game.
And as myself, I was a child with a very debilitating illness, and I still have it, but I know what it feels like to be young and kind of hopeless, and I I never forget the support of community, of friends, family, as well as people within the hospital during those very hard times. So yeah, no, it's a great thing. Thank you, Jeremy, for all that, all what you did this weekend, because I was watching a little bit of it. So yeah, definitely, for sure. And
Congratulations.
all the links for all these guys, their YouTube pages, go and then find their stuff, their spiels, everything you need to know on their pages. If you're watching on YouTube, will be a link in the description below. And thank you, Marion. Thank you, Arabal, for commenting on the. And no, I cannot read Spanish yet.
I got you. I'm doing translating.
Okay. And thank you guys for commenting and for the support, watching these live streams throughout the time. And again, this Wednesday, I'm going to be going back to editing episode 7 of Tales of Valhalla. Get back in the live stream for that. So I'll be doing that on Wednesdays. And the next Sunday, we will be talking about, probably late into the night then. It's probably going to be a later live stream. I'm talking about all 5 days of whatever dumps, whatever Discord dumps that that sounds so wrong, but I love the word that Ankarmine decides to throw at us, decides to just hurl at us. You know, all these dumps everywhere throughout the week, and we just like, please, yes, give it to us now. We want to bathe in it. Okay,
Chomping at the bit.
I can't. It can't sound any more wrong. But no, I thank you guys for everybody for watching. Thank you guys, the wonderful panel of peoples who know what they're talking about, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's great for you guys to be on board. And again, if you're watching this in Tales of Valhalla, great. If you're watching this on Twitch or Facebook, check out the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel. It is Tales of Valhalla is a stop-motion Heroscape adventure, based, of course, on the board game Heroscape. We have 2 full seasons, working on season 3, and season 3 will be the end of the seasonal arc that I have. It's going to be an exciting thing, and I can't wait till it's all done. But in the meantime, excited for Age of Annihilation, excited what's in store for the future, and just look forward to it. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to comment as well below, and we will report on whatever else you say. Anybody who's commented in the past, feel free, give us your opinion, be nice, and we definitely will talk more on it later. We just appreciate all the subscriptions, all the support, all the likes. Just we really can't do this without that type of support. We really can't. Even if it's just a thumbs up, it keeps us going. So we do certainly appreciate it. So with that, I'm Ryan. Thank you guys. Thank everybody for watching the live stream tonight. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, and live it. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Night.